Okay, here we are back after my short video. I was explaining that I already did the passenger side with the steel. I replaced the section of frame that was really bad. And after debating on whether I should do the driver's side, which wasn't as bad, I can't see not doing it. It's going to bother me. If it's going to be done, do it right, or don't do it. So here we go. Here's the section that I replaced. If you look at the other video, you'll know how bad it was. I'll go slowly so you can look. And again, I didn't do the welds to look pretty. I did them to hold. But this is one piece of steel bent. And I'll show you what I did here. This is one piece, bent it, notched it, and it goes to right here. And then that's where it meets the original chassis. So once I welded everything together underneath this, welded the chassis up. This is stock, nice thick 3A steel. What I did was I made a gusset plate to put more pressure to. It probably wasn't needed, but to compensate putting any type of stress on the weld where the chassis meets. So this piece right here is the gusset plate. It's actually like a face plate. So the chassis was actually met right there. This much is all gusset, all welded. And then what I did on the other side is, let me bring it around here. This is one piece, angle line. Notched it out around the tubular chassis there. And then this piece goes all the way. This was all good steel up here. So I wanted a lot of good steel to weld to. So this is a whole new piece right here. And it goes right to there. So this is supported better than it was when it was new. It's definitely stronger than it was when it was new, a lot stronger. It's definitely overkill. I'll give you another shot. And then the back here, this is one piece. I notched it out around this because this was good steel. The rest was iffy. So I notched around that and brought it back all the way to here. This was all good steel right here. So it's all welded top and bottom. Also have access holes I drilled to put some fluid film. So this will be all filled inside with fluid film. And I'll have 3/8 holes drilled every 12 inches at the bottom. So it'll never have water inside of it. Which if I had a brand new one of these right now, so God forbid I won one of these brand new, or had that, I wouldn't waste money buying a new one. I just can't see spending new money like that. Spending good money like that. But if I had one of these given to me or I won, I'd be drilling 3/8 inch holes all the way across the bottom and filling it with fluid film. Because these things will rot out. I don't care. It's just doing a better job. It's making it last for yourself. Why not? So this side was good. I didn't touch it. I just POR'd it. This side was all new. I replaced it, obviously, if you watched the last video. I cut the tube in here. Cut it off here. And I cut it off here. I bent this at a friend of mine's shop. Welded it in place. Well, before I welded it, I put another piece of inside diameter tubing inside of this. So inside of this tubing, there's another section of tubing. And that tubing goes from the inside, it goes from here all the way to the bend here. So when I welded this up, it's just not a weld there. There's a section of tube all the way inside of this, supporting that whole thing, because that's where the strut tower goes. Not to mention, this takes most of the shock anyway. It's like I said, I overkill everything. And then I cut this section. This was all rotted. Well, actually, it wasn't rotted. There was nothing there. It was gone. So this thing was just sitting there. I had to get the right dimensions of the other side, weld this in place with a temporary piece of steel. That way, this was in the right spot. And then bend the piece in for this. So that's all new. Which takes me to this side. Here's the side that, well, you know, it's really crappy. It's got those rot holes there. It's kind of thin. It was rotting a lot. Obviously, the water was coming down, sitting all through here. I'll show you the other side if I can bring the camera around. If there's any light. Look at that. It's garbage. It's garbage. I can't see just fixing it. I mean, I can't see patching that crap. Honestly, the steel, even being rotted like that, it's still so much strength to this stuff. If you go to break it and bend it right now, it's actually hard. It would probably last a while, a long time. I just can't, I'm into it this deep. I might as well just keep finishing it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut this frame right about here, which is halfway into this big, thick 3A steel. So the front part of the chassis will still be held in very well. And I have plenty of good chassis, half of that still left to weld my new steel into. So I'm not taking any strength away when I cut the weld. When I cut the chassis out, it won't move at all. So yeah, I'm going to cut it right there. I'm going to cut this right here, bend this up out of the way a little bit. And then I'm not sure, yeah, there's a little bit of rot right here. So I'm probably going to cut this right where the cables are at. Right at the bend again, just like I did the other side. And then I'll get the new section, I'll bend it up, and then I'll plate it again. That's all. Anyway, so far so good. I can't wait till I can start putting this back together. Actually, I gotta replace that. This is just from out on the floor. I'm gonna replace that piece of angle line quick. Where the floor actually gets drilled into this. That's how it's originally done. You take the screws out to take the floor off. I'm gonna. I think I have access to diamond plate aluminum. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make this whole floor out of aluminum. Pretty thick stuff too. And of course, I still have to fabricate those corners here. They're like an octagon fender well. Mine are rotted. I'll show you in a second. It's not a hard job. It just takes some time doing the bends. That I'll have to go down to my friend's shop and use his brake. It'll make it a lot easier to make them bends. I just wish I had somebody that had templates of it. It would make it a lot easier having templates. Save 2/3 of the time. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna use diamond plate aluminum for my new floor. Never have to worry about it rotting again. It'll take away a lot of weight. And I picked up one of these. Yeah, I keep my tools in the refrigerator. Keeps them cold. Anyway, I've never used it before, but I do like, for this application, it's going to be great. One of those, what are they called? Rivet nut setter. So it has these inserts, threaded inserts. They're 8 and 10 millimeters that I got. I'm going to have to buy some more. So I'm going to do these nut inserts into the chassis. I'll drill a hole through my aluminum for the 6 and 8 millimeter screws, and I'll have these nut inserts that will go into here. So I take my floor in and out to access the front drive shaft, whatever I got to do. Whenever I got to take the floor out, I can just take the 6 and 8 millimeter bolts out. It'll be nice. Also on the plastics here, over here they got these stupid plastic clips. Over here, where they got the Allen head screws with a nut welder behind them. I'm going to grind that off. I'm going to put these new nut inserts in there. So when I put all the plastics back on, you'll have nice brand new 6 or 8 millimeter, whatever they are, 6 or 8 millimeter bolts going through all the plastics. Because a couple of them, when I turned the bolt out of the plastic, they had some of these built in. They were probably melted into the plastic. These turned, and they came out when I took the plastic off. So what I can do is I can reinsert these back into the plastic with nice new ones. So that's where we are so far with this. If you haven't watched the last video, I'll give you a quick update on the old chassis. The old front part of the chassis, which I still got to cut that tab off and reuse that. This is the old piece right here. Obviously, it matches that side, which doesn't look that bad, does it? Except where that was welded to it. But, yeah, doesn't look that bad, huh? Turn it upside down. Yeah, and I was told that this chassis is fine. Yeah, he disappeared quick after I bought this thing. And here's the, I'm saving this because I need the tab. Obviously, save everything. Never throw anything out until you're done. And even when you're done, if you can save some stuff that's halfway decent, save it. Here are my floors. Look at this. It's so rotted they're stuck together. I sure wish I had somebody that had a template for these suckers, that's for sure. Because it's a terrible bend. Here we go. Look how bad these are. Can't even be put back together. So I'm going to copy this out of aluminum. I'll tell you, I haven't thought about doing that out of aluminum yet, but that really would make sense. Because that's the fender well. If I make that out of aluminum, boy, it sure would be nice. I'm going to have to give some thought on that. Anyway, yeah, those bends suck. Those compound bends are going to be... I think I can do it in two bends, I'm pretty sure. I think that I'll be able to do this. Once you get into it, it gets easy, but I think this will be cut right down the center. This will be a nice, easy bend, straightforward. 1, 2, 3. And then this might have to be a separate section. I'll have to see how this is built, how it's put together. I can't even tell how it was actually built because it's so bad. But I wish I had an old one around here somewhere where I could cut these out of a salvaged one, but they're not selling these sections anywhere. If anybody sees this video and can make a template of this or something, let me know. I'd be appreciative if they could send it to me. Anyway, this is it. See you on the next one.